What's up, crypto legends? How's everybody doing? Let's analyze the situation here, not only for Bitcoin, but also for the altcoins, guys. We'll be taking a look at the highest cap coins, okay? The ones that are getting the movements, so we can find out some good opportunities here together on the live. Make sure to absolutely destroy that like button, legends, on your way in. How is everyone doing? Thank you for joining today's live stream. Let's go through the comment section and say hello to the legends right away. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, legends, and let's smash up that like button all together. Let's see if we can get to 500 likes on this stream. It would be absolutely awesome, guys. Make sure to do so. Let's say hello to 𝗞𝗫. What's going on? Staffer1, the legend, 𝗖𝗿𝘆𝗽𝗽, ¿cómo estás, hermano? Let's go. Yes, we knew this was going to happen. A little bit of a pullback here, consolidating. Ethereum is getting that pump, that bounce all the way up again, almost hitting those new highs from the last few days. Andy is not your woman, bro. What's going on? What are you cooking today, Andy? I'm hungry, says Staffer1. Let's go, let's go. Staffer1, Jerome, how is everybody doing? Let me know if you can hear me, guys, if you can see me. We'll put some background music here and analyze the situation all together, okay? 𝗞𝗫, hello, how are you doing? We are looking for a fourth wave pullback to long, are we? Will it fill the CME gap? Let's analyze the situation here for the price of Bitcoin. But overall, we have been maintaining bullish, very, very bullish, looking for new all-time highs at some point, guys, regardless if it's going to be in a few days, in a few weeks, okay? Maintaining those swing long positions, which potentially is going to be a six-figure profit swing long. This one here on bluffing that I've taken here is likely going to turn into a six-figure one unless we do get a pullback. There is a bearish case scenario. Eventually, we need to talk about that, guys. Very important that we do talk about the bearish case scenario also, okay? So far, so good. The level that we are getting that reaction is the 0.88 Fibonacci. We know 0.88 Fibonacci is kind of the second golden pocket, guys. The second golden pocket. Golden pocket usually gets a good reaction. We reacted ever so slightly, got a little pullback of a few $100s just a few days ago. And just today, we got this pullback at the 0.88. 0.88 gets respected very, very much, guys. And we got that pullback of a few $1,000s just today. However, is this still a pullback? The momentum is still bullish. Of course, if we do get back inside the value area of this range and we start breaking a little bit of local market structure, I already took significant profits, okay, from the swing longs. I was letting the legends know in the Telegram, okay, this is swing longs that we've been, holding for weeks, guys, okay? And overall, if you're not in any longs, this is the zone that was very interesting. The local bullish market structure for that reversal, for that third wave that we were ultimately looking for, okay? The opportunity area was just a few days ago, right? Because analyzing the structure here, we were very much labeling all of this as a corrective move, okay? So the big opportunity which has been taken throughout the last couple of weeks was literally in this zone to take advantage of this leg to the upside, which has been playing out extremely nice. Those swing longs taken here already, 50k total profit, and leaving significant amount to see if we can make another 50 to 60k. I am looking for all-time high. However, look, listen, if we get that pullback, I will be explaining. These are swing longs, guys. These are big positions, right? Scalping and day trading, yeah, we can later on throughout the stream, we can talk about some intraday scalping levels if you want to get into a move of $300, $400, $500. We can look for that, guys, but I'm looking for big moves, okay? I'm looking for big swings, and that is the idea. That's where we can make some big money, risk a little bit more, understanding that the probabilities are in our side, okay? If you want to, really look at the chart every single hour, every single minute for small little movements, I mean, that is fine. I used to do that a lot before, but now you realize that you don't have to do that, okay? So I'm here to explain some nice bigger swings, not only for Bitcoin. We'll be analyzing some altcoins because every single pullback that we get to major big levels of confluence, we need to take advantage, guys. We are in a bull market, regardless if you don't think we are, okay? XRP still looks primed to go to higher levels. Ethereum Cardano as well, guys. We need to take advantage of the big ones. The big ones are the ones that make these bigger moves before the mid caps and low caps. Of course, there are going to be some meme coins and a few other projects that do, 100 to 100% pump, but they're very, very difficult to spot. Okay, so we need to go with the big ones, the ones that have liquidity, that we can understand the chart for those bigger swings. Okay, so it's the moment, guys. And in this live stream, we are going to go through a few of them. All right, so I just need you to pay attention, stick around, because I want you to join in these bigger swings as well, guys, and make insane profits also. So this is a situation where we are right now, okay? Without a doubt, I do not want the price to lose the value area high. We're just getting a nice little bounce at the value area high of this entire trading zone in the last few weeks, okay? Yeah, let me know about the music. Can be a little bit aggressive. We're still maintaining bullish market structure locally. Okay, we'll be talking about the bearish case, the bullish case, why I want the price to, there is a CME gap. Okay, I get it. For the CME gap lovers, there is that CME gap, just a couple of $1,000 beneath us. All right, we did get that nice little pump throughout, the weekend, and we created this gap. So gap usually is support, guys. Gaps are usually support. Do I need to fill them straight away? Not always, but most of the times they do get filled, regardless if it's in 1 week or 2 weeks. I really do not want the price to successfully get back inside the value area of this trading zone. If we get a bounce here, okay, and we form some kind of a correction, we do not manage to bounce to hit new highs, then I would be skeptical. I would be skeptical for a bigger range to form in the next coming days. Regardless, if we come down here, right, we need to analyze the levels. What kind of price action is going to be developed? Will we start forming a leading move down, okay, like an impulse to the downside, and then get the bounce? Then should be very skeptical about the situation. Okay, we could be getting another leg down and continue this range before we head up to all-time high. All-time high is the option regardless, okay? We are looking for new all-time highs, and we just need to detect where there is a good zone to either add to our long positions or get into new long positions, right? I trade on several exchanges because I want to have several longs, basically, mainly on Bitcoin, understanding the overall trend and understanding that there's high probability in taking out the highs. So we'll be taking a look at the local price action mainly, okay? We do understand that this is corrective. The momentum is bullish. We were speculating on yesterday's video that, yeah, maybe this could be an ABC. We could fail to break to higher levels, but it's very hard to really believe that the point of control is going to get rejected. The value area high is going to get rejected. We're going to create a swing failure pattern. These are swing failure pattern levels. If you pump up and you reject from the level, it's a potential sniper short, but they are risky, and we can see today that they are risky. The market structure is bullish, right? We explained this throughout yesterday. Why try to speculate on a short here, even though we're hitting the golden pocket or we're hitting the value area high, right? It's going to reject. You don't know. The market structure is bullish throughout the last 10, 11 days. Trying to short here is like, the momentum is very, very bullish. We do have, the different scenarios of forming multiple 1-2s, right? 1-2, 1-2. We talked about this yesterday. And, this is another small 1-2, bang, third wave. Now, of course, this correction has been a little bit deep. It has been a little bit deep, okay? So I'm a little bit skeptical about this retracement down. Could it be part, okay, still of the third wave where you have a 1-2 and this is, your third wave right over here, just finishing with an expanding fifth wave? The momentum is bullish, okay? Momentum is bullish. So, there's no reason to panic yet about having a much deeper pullback. As long as we maintain value area low, point of control, we don't break the local market structure, the last higher low, which is this one right over here, just before this major pump that we had. it's still higher lows, right? Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, right? We still could be forming another higher low here. The moment we get down beneath and enter the, the value area range, we have lost, okay, the momentum. We've lost one of the most important levels of support, which is the value area high, which is holding pretty nicely for the moment in the last couple of hours as we got down here, right? This is the zone that I want to see choppiness. I don't want to see it, okay, breaking down this area. This is crucial. If you dip down beneath, that is totally fine. We get another new impulse, reclaim the level, off we go, potentially hitting to all-time high, continuing the momentum. So it's crucial to hold this area, okay, in between $18,000 and $19,000. Maybe fill the CME gap, okay, it is possible. But the moment that we do dip down beneath, okay, successfully, right, we do tap this higher low at $18,000, that would be the first major sign of weakness that we have from this uptrend. And is there a bearish case scenario? Is there a bearish case scenario? Well, eventually there is, right? There could be a way of counting all of this as your wave A, wave B, and all of this is your wave C. Okay, there is some kind of a three-wave structure that we can count here, the C wave in a five-wave move up, and it's a three-wave move, okay, to the upside. Three-wave down, three-wave up. We could be, there is the chance of a flat or a running flat, either form a higher low in this area at the value area low, or take out the lows even. I mean, there's nothing to worry about yet about this scenario. There's nothing to worry about. Just as yesterday, why would we want to short at the golden pocket if the momentum is bullish and we could be forming multiple 1-2s and we just really break out here? So there's no major signs still yet that we're going to get a larger pullback. The moment I will realize that we get signs of weakness and I could be entering an intraday short position instead of trying to detect the highs, because it's dangerous, is the moment that we claim $118,000 and we lose the value area high of the range, okay? The moment this is lost and we even lose the point of control with that $118,000, that's the moment that we'll be analyzing this wave right over here to the downside. Will it look three wavy, or will it look like a big impulsive move down in 5 waves? And that's the moment we need to be a little bit skeptical, because we could be back testing the value area high, form a 3-wave structure, everybody's getting bullish again, we're going to go to all-time high, and then bang, we get the smack down, okay, to value area low and even to lower levels potentially. For the moment, there's no reasons to believe this, guys, okay, but that's the moment that I would be interested in a short. It's the only moment that I would be interested in a short. An SFP would have been an interesting quick short scalp, but we just blasted off today, okay? It was a major blast off, so no shorts taken, guys. Mainly swing long and looking for higher and looking for all-time high to be hit at some point. Till proven otherwise, till proven that we get a first sign of weakness from the local uptrend, which we still do not have, right? So breaking down here, boom, boom, hitting the $118,000. We could be zooming in on the lower time frames, such as the 15-minute, 5-minute time frame, and really go through this structure, right? It is just a little bit of a rollover. It looks very one-wavy for the moment. Still looks very one-wavy. So if we do get some kind of a bounce, it's very corrective, right? We get some choppiness, very overlappy. We could really understand that this bounce to the upside is looking corrective, right? Wait for the volatility, the choppiness, and the overlap scenario, because, you know, the moment that some higher lows are getting to their last higher low here, you realize that this is corrective. You know, this is no form of impulse that is likely going to happen, okay? Once you get that overlap and you know, basically the choppiness in this bounce, if it does happen, then the movement down, right, is the moment that, you know, could be very interesting. If you get some kind of a 5-wave structure here to the downside, okay, in the next couple of days, that's the moment that I would suggest that, you know, looking for a lower high here to get to lower levels. is going to be the option, guys. You know, this is the only main reason, right? Losing the value area high of the range, forming a 5-wave move to the downside, and realizing that that higher time frame ABC flat could be an option. That's when we'll start considering A wave, B wave, and the flat option, okay, that could be coming very close to the lows of the range. For the moment, yeah, this is you know, this is just basically speculating, right? This is speculating still. So for the moment, we are not looking for that. We're still holding bullish market structure. So congratulations, whoever's been long throughout the last couple of weeks, guys. You should be making some pretty interesting gains. We've been talking about, you know, sticking mainly long on Bitcoin. And after the patience, we are seeing those wonderful profits coming in throughout multiple exchanges, as we were believing that the rally to take at least $120,000 was the main idea for the last 2 weeks, guys, right? Sweep up that huge amount of liquidity that is right now coming to fruition, right? We have swept hundreds of millions of dollars, guys, of short liquidations, right? Stop losses, liquidations, which was the main target from our long positions in the last few weeks. Absolute legends. Anyway, let's go right away through the comment section, and we'll be analyzing, you know, we could go to the lower time frame, guys. Anybody that's interested in scalping, you know, in day trading, we can talk about some intraday major levels as you brothers and sisters smash up the like button, guys, okay? Because yeah, like button is very much helping the channel, okay, to grow. Yesterday's video did get a lot of attention, of course, when we talk about warning signs, right, and you know, possible bearishness that could happen. We can go through this also, okay? Very important charts: Ethereum, BTC, Bitcoin dominance for a relief rally, okay? Just to be on the sidelines, that a relief rally, okay, on the Bitcoin dominance could happen, guys. You know, it does look very an ending structure that is forming here on the Bitcoin dominance, all right? Possible ending structure that could bring that relief rally in the next couple of weeks, that could bring that pullback, okay, on altcoins, which will only bring a major opportunity. So let's go right away through the comment section, and then we'll analyze the local uptrend, guys. I think the key scenario right now is literally focusing on this uptrend, right? Can we continue the momentum? Okay, going a little bit parabolic now throughout the last 24 hours. We need to analyze, you know, is it worth long in here? I mean, we are at support. We are at the value area high, bouncing as support nicely here. You know, basically this resistance, okay, is turning into support right now. You know, eventually we are at support. We are getting that little reaction here. So we are going to be focusing on the 15-minute and 5-minute time frame, guys, for all of those degens out there that want to scalp and day trade. And then we'll go through XRP. We can go through Cardano as well, which I think looks, it looks amazing, guys. Cardano looks amazing, and it's a matter of time that we come up to all-time high. However, you know, this is what we need to analyze. This movement up, right, looks very impulsive, so we're really spotting this scenario as a correction. However, there is the risk of Cardano getting one more dip, okay? For me, it's without a doubt looking for another wave to the upside in the next coming days. What I am a little bit skeptical about is that we could be forming some kind of a double zigzag here and then get the rally, okay? Massive rally. You know, you have a few options here. You get into a small position, all right? And you're ready, stop loss at the low, and you're ready, okay, to analyze the situation in the next coming days if we took out this local low. You can always add a 1% more to the trade, and if you break down, you just recognize the loss, right? Because, you know, we're going to be talking about these levels on the chart. As mentioned, taking out all-time high, sorry, not all-time high on Cardano, the $1.30 is very, very likely to happen in the coming weeks, okay? So we want to take advantage of this movement, right? We want to be part of the movement. What we can analyze on Cardano here is, are we going to take out the low or not? We've formed already a 3-wave structure. So we'll be analyzing Cardano, all right, to add a couple of altcoins, guys, right? A couple of altcoins to get those profits, right, in the next coming weeks, because it's all about trading and making profits, guys. Let's go right away through comment section, okay? We'll be going through that. Focusing first on Bitcoin, then we'll take a couple of look at a couple of altcoins, okay? Habibi, how are you doing, my man? Habib, hi, how about Ethereum? Can it go down to $4,000? Absolutely. We can take a look at Ethereum later on, okay? Someone help me a little. I lost $13 today from my $15 capital. Says top 10 everything. Let's go. I look like altcoin fall again. It look like altcoin fall again. Altcoins falling again. Anyone here believe ripping higher? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for Bitcoin, come on, guys. You know, we just barely almost hit all-time high, right? How much higher do you want, right? How much higher do you want? We've been really, really bullish, analyzing that this is a 3-wave structure, just like this one, all right? We're just a little bit skeptical on the situation of going a little bit sideways for a few more days or rallying already to almost hit the all-time highs. So far, so good, guys. So far, so good. Whoever took advantage of the movement here is making bank, okay? Making bank. We could not be happier, guys, with the gains from this rally on Bitcoin, which was very much predictable, right? Let's go. Hey, legends. My man, 𝗬𝗍𝘆. Hope you had a great weekend. Much love to you, 𝗬𝗍𝘆, guys. If you don't know who 𝗬𝗍𝘆 is, make sure to go and check him out. He's a coach in the Legends trading community, and he is an absolute machine. Today, he did talk about a nice long position on Bitcoin. He's using Fibonacci extensions and using, you know, different levels of support. If you are interested in the Legends Pro community, this is the recent one that just happened literally 2 hours ago, right? He's also a scalping day trading machine, right, which is looking for internal opportunities. Shout out to you, 𝗬𝗍𝘆, one of the coaches in the Legends Pro community, guys. If you want to join, you do have the first link down below. Just for you, if you want more activity in your trading, well, the Legends Pro is definitely the way to go. Much love to you, 𝗬𝗍𝘆. Last move looks like going 5 waves, says Supreme. Last move looks like going 5 waves. Going 5 waves. Is that on Bitcoin? Last move looks like very 5 waves. Well, I'm not sure which one you're talking about here, more locally or not. Anyway, I think the most important thing that we need to do here is really analyze the uptrend, guys, right? This uptrend momentum. And there are some risks eventually. There are some risks without a doubt. We do not really want to. We've ended up with a huge amount of volume here. And this is very typical as well for a C wave, right? What I am skeptical about right now is this a 3-wave structure, right? We're getting everybody bullish. We've swept the liquidity already. And we formed a bit of an ABC, a big extension here for an ABC. And we're going to get that, you know, corrective move. Or even a double zigzag would even make more sense. Because you do have first leg up, correction, another leg to the upside here, sideways corrective structure, and then your new next leg to the upside, a pump, correction, and another pump. Double zigzag. You got one zigzag here, sideways momentum, no breakout in a range. Okay, you can clearly see it. And then you have the first leg up that we had yesterday, Sunday, sideways consolidation, and then the next leg up, which could also be labeled as a double zigzag. Now, if you have a double zigzag possibility, well, eventually you need to zoom out here. You need to zoom out and, you know, really understand if you do have a zigzag move to the downside and you form a double zigzag to the upside potential, well, this could be an A wave, this could be a B wave, and you're forming a flat. You've hit the minimum target for a flat, which is the 0.9 Fibonacci already, from the highs, all-time highs to the lows. You know, it's definitely a possibility. And I did not short the 0.88, but I will get into a short position once I get proof of weakness. Proof of weakness, as explained before. And, you know, I'm not here, you know, I've noticed that I do not need to fuck around with day trades and scalps very much anymore, guys. This is why, you know, we're literally, you know, maintaining longs, swing longs, and we just, you know, make big profits, right? That's the general idea. But I want to explain the high probability of getting into a short, and that's having a leading move to the downside in an impulse here. You know, we really need to start moving down aggressively in the next coming days. If we get a little bounce, boom, 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 it starts looking weak, very aggressive move to the downside. The bounce is going to tell us all of the information if we need to take that short. Back test of the value area high, right? Because the general idea here would be looking for a larger flat structure. But we need that first sign of weakness, guys. Like I explained, you know, we even talked about this, you know, a week ago, just over a week ago. When you do get the breakdown of this movement and you form this rally that was labeled, possibly labeled as a 5-wave structure, and this a 3-wave structure, once we got this price action, this was the moment to be bullish. This was the area to be bullish, to look for the next wave to the upside. That's the wave that I took advantage of. Okay, it was mentioned also in the Legends Pro community to take out these highs. The entry was at 113,600. That's the moment where you realize there's insane probability in your favor to take out at a bare minimum this high that we had. So, I mean, with that theory, guys, I mean, this is how the market moves, right? It's just, that's how the market moves and how you can detect that probability. If the price breaks down, okay, in the next couple of days with that pretty interesting move to the downside in an impulse, and you get that rally where you can detect it's a 3-wave structure, just like this one right over here. This is where the attention goes, guys. If we get this leg down in sign of weakness, my full attention will go into this range. This range will have my full attention for hours, right? This is the moment that I would be looking very, very strongly at this range and analyzing every single movement on the 5-minute time frame, okay? And that's the moment that I want to trigger with the Legends Pro or the Signals channel, right, guys, in the short, taking advantage of that 3rd wave down. Okay, so I mean, the same applied right over here. This is the exact zone that was applied for that 3rd wave move up. You know, leave that trade open, right? The momentum is still bullish. We got multiple 1-2 setups. We're looking for all-time highs. So maintaining those longs is definitely, you know, what we want to do, because we have advantage. And understanding that we have a 3-wave move down here, it's much better holding long positions than holding short positions, just because we realize that those all-time highs are going to be taken at some point. Okay, so we want to eventually take advantage more of the longs and maintain those long positions to maximize the profits. So if you want some scalping scenarios, guys, I mean, yeah, this movement down has been a pretty nice quick rollover. What can I say? It's been a pretty nice rollover. The movements that we're having here on the 3-minute, 1-minute time frame, not too convincing, if I'm honest, right? Not really too convincing, right? Could it be small little 1-2s, 1-2, 1-2, right? We get a 3rd wave up. It's not too convincing for the moment that this is looking quite impulsive. It is looking quite corrective. We could already have our first sign of weakness, okay? First sign of weakness if we claim the lows again, okay? Because I like to see this, very, very likely as your first initial wave one to the downside. First leg down, correction, next move down. If we get this bounce, okay, and basically the 382 and the 50% Fibonacci is the level that needs to maintain as resistance, which it is. A bit aggressive for a short, guys, after getting it. We are in bullish market structure, but I would consider already this movement down a 5-wave structure. If we claim this low, yes, it could recover. We look for that instant bounce. The session VWAP, okay, with the golden pocket, 50% golden pocket zone could definitely be an option to take a short position. Okay, it's very, very choppy. I mean, this is the 3-minute time frame. Pretty aggressive move down here. This could be our first initial sign of weakness, especially if we do take out the low here. If we take out the low again, we could label this as a 5-wave structure. Depending on that bounce, okay, if we are going to form a bit of a channel-y situation, lots of overlap, bullish market structure, the higher lows are getting too close to each other. You can detect that, guys, once the price action is formed. So it's really, really analyzing, the bounce. The bounce needs to be analyzed very, very carefully. I will consider taking more profits if we do lose the value area high here, guys. If we do lose the value area high of this range, start getting down to the point of control, eventually, even profits will be less. They have to be taken, and I will look to re-enter new long positions in the next coming days, because regardless, guys, that we did not take out all-time high here, it's just giving us another opportunity. I'm just a little bit skeptical on how this movement down can develop in the next coming days. Ultimately, taking out this low has low probability before taking out all-time high, and I'll explain a main reason why. So I mean, longing in this zone, okay, longing in this area, can be an option, but we really need to analyze the market structure here, because I mean, there is the risk of taking out the low as explained at the beginning, based on a 3-wave down. You have a double zigzag here in this zone for your B wave, and if things can get aggressive, right? Just a pretty decent shakeout to get everybody like, wow, what happened, right? What's going on? Is definitely an option, but that will only bring us remaining patient, guys, for the rejection, and the local structure that could develop is going to be absolutely key. Taking out all is just going to be another opportunity. I'll be happy to re-enter, some other new longs very aggressively, because taking out all-time high is, extremely highly likely. Okay. The most bearish case scenario is taking out this low at 112k, which, I think it's probably not going to happen. It's either going to be a running flat or a WXY, where you form a triangle here in this zone, right? You're going to get squeezed in a triangle throughout the next coming days if you lose this area, because you have a zigzag down, WXY in your X wave here, double zigzag, and then a triangle or either a flat, okay? Which, can be a little bit confusing. It will be a very, very confusing type of price action, but we can spot this area in the next coming days, right? It can be very well spotted, and it's just going to be another long position. Worst case scenario is that the price moves down impulsively throughout the next coming days and gets very, very close to hit the lows, or even hits the lows. These are the only scenarios that we have on the chart, guys. It's just going to bring another major opportunity for longing, okay? It's just going to bring another major opportunity to get into longs if you're not in longs already throughout the last few days. Yeah, I mean, there's no bearish case, guys. There's literally no bearish case that brings us a successful breakdown beneath the lows at 112K. You know, if you have a three-wave structure to the downside, if you move down in a three-wave structure from all-time high and you hit, you know, you almost hit the highs here, the 0.88 Fibonacci basically, you literally, you know, the percentage of probabilities of breaking down here without taking all-time high are like, you know, close to 1 or 2% probability. This is like max probability that we're unlikely going to get, you know, a breakdown in this area and before breaking all-time highs. Okay, so any pullbacks into this zone, we realize what different patterns we can form. Okay, what different patterns we can form. We just need to be a little bit patient because it might take a few days. One of them would be that sideways WXY, right? Where you formed that zigzag down three-wave structure. You almost took the highs, but you get that kind of shakeout, okay, in the next coming days, and you actually get back inside of the zone. Two major movements that could happen in your Y wave. One of them is a triangle, which you need 5 waves inside, where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then eventually you're looking for that breakout. This is literally this right over here. For anybody that doesn't understand complex sideways corrective structures, you have that zigzag or flat to the downside, your wave X to the upside that almost takes the highs. Okay, almost takes the highs. This is the move that we've had up today. Almost taking out the highs. And then you have two options for your Y wave here. You basically get back inside of the range and start squeezing in a triangle, or you form a flat. Those are the, you know, two major options on this sideways WXY that could take a few days to develop, right? Either the triangle or either a flat movement, which would be, you know, a little bit confusing eventually, because you could get that leg down, then, you know, sweep up these highs, almost hitting all-time high or taking out all-time high, which is a possibility. Then you get the movement down, sweep up the recent lows, and you literally formed your Y wave in a flat here. Okay. Now, this happened to Ethereum on the higher time frame, right? I mean, this is one of the options that could happen. When you do take a look at Ethereum, this happened on the daily chart, weekly chart, if you wish, where you formed a major large WXY, which we were very much in favor of many months ago, right? Many months ago, we were talking about this movement, right? Where you have that sharp zigzag down, you have your double zigzag to the upside, and then your flat right over here, right? That's like the complex scenario. And we were so bullish, guys, once we broke down 2,000, guys. It's time to go in, you know, buy Ethereum, get swing long with low leverage eventually, because you could be in the negative. You don't want to go with a 50x leverage, you know, 5, 10x leverage, add a little bit to the position. You know, we're confident that this leg up is going to happen and take out 4K, which did take a few months, right? So this is literally one of the scenarios that could happen on Ethereum, on Bitcoin, sorry, but on the lower time frame. Okay, it's just how the market moves. This is literally what on the lower time frame. Get the movement up, you get a significant bounce, take out the highs, you know, and then people are expecting a breakout. You form that high right there, you take out the lows again. It's literally a liquidity grab. You take the shorts out of the market and you take the longs out of the market that have been participating throughout this range. It's very, very common kind of scenario. I mean, when you do take a look at Ethereum, you know, this is a moment that we were like, many people were bullish, right? This is it, guys. This is it. This is the moment that Ethereum, it's time to break out all-time highs here back in December of 2024, right? We couldn't be more wrong about this situation. Bang, sweep up the lows. All of those people that were longing here, this uptrend, expecting for all-time high, you know, got exterminated from the market. And this is where we, me and you, right, buy Ethereum, you know, go swing long, whatever you want, right? Maintain risk, low leverage. Don't go with too much leverage here. If you swing long and we don't know how low it can go, we need more information. We need our first big impulse. That was a good sign. And, you know, this is what could develop on Bitcoin. Okay. Other scenarios, this, you know, we're just looking at the bearish possibilities here, guys, because we are bullish still. We might be taking our all-time high in between today and tomorrow. Right? We're just looking at the possibilities of rejection, just so you are ready on what we are looking for, okay? Because this is what happens with unexperienced people, or that are using, you know, different ways of analysis that is not giving the proper information. So you just need to be ready about the situation. If you're in longs, well, you're in longs from lower, right? We were very much analyzing this, you know, last week. We're looking for a three-wave move here, guys. This is your moment. Long in the 7-8 was aggressive on the drop. Local bullish market structure was your golden ticket. Out of all of this movement that we've had to the upside, where you need to get in is here. Really, to take advantage. Yeah, you can long also in other places, right? It doesn't matter. But for me, the easiest detection of taking advantage of a local multiple 1-2 was here. And I mean that applies for the bearish case as well, right? You just need some kind of an impulse and lose the local market structure, get back inside the value area high, and the bounce could be interesting for a short, because you might get that third leg down. Okay, you know, this is the moment that I would be very, very interested. The back test of value area high, you know, we got our first sign of weakness. We are going to get that bounce at some point, right? The rejections and the bounce happen all the time. It's going to happen. It's all about remaining patient. First rally, first correction, bullish market structure here locally, bullish CVDs, that's the moment where we get in. So no matter how low you go here, I couldn't care less, guys, that I did not short here. I couldn't care less, because I need that sign of weakness, which is 5-wave down, break down beneath again the value, get inside of the value area of this trading zone. There will be a bounce. There will be a bounce. The question is where and when. I don't need that information. I don't need it. It's going to happen regardless. You don't need to know when the bounce is going to happen. But the bounce will happen at some stage. And that's the moment that you really put all of your effort on the analysis to try and detect that three-wave structure. Back test of the level, right? And then, you know, obviously jump into a new short. You might get some local bearish structure here to get into the short before the wave 3, right? So it's this but inverted, right? You want to see this but inverted here. So that's the only local short that I would be interested. Okay, lose 118k, right? You can detect on the lower time frame that you formed a little bit of a 5-waver, 3-waver. I will consider a short in between the 50% and the golden pocket zone, 7-8. I will consider it just to take advantage of taking out this low at a bare minimum and maybe break down to lower levels. Okay, I'm not interested in shorting till I see that sign of weakness. Market structure is bullish. You know, we're still very much uptrending. And we could, you know, forming multiple 1-2s, 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 right? I wouldn't even label this as a third wave, guys, just because Yeah, just because from the last higher low here, I mean, could it be this one? So it is the highest volume on the lower time frames right over here. We just corrected a little bit too far for a fourth wave from the latest 1-2. It's a bit too deep for a fourth wave, guys. So the risks of correcting down are definitely there. Okay, they are definitely there. I mean, I am really, really concerned about longing this pullback on Bitcoin. You know, this is not an area that I would want to participate to get into a long. It's just, if you got the biggest movement throughout Sunday, you got the CME gap, okay, as well. If you want to consider that the CME gap is a magnet. From the last higher lows, if this were to be a wave 3, you want a shallow wave 4, hitting 382, 50% from the recent higher lows. And, you know, the moment you get into golden pocket territory, you're like, oof, you know, this could be the end. This could be the end of the movement. So long in here, this pullback, you need to take it as a kind of a scalp, okay? But I would really not consider this level on Bitcoin being a opportunity to, you know, could it bounce and hit all-time high in the next, in the next 24 hours? Absolutely. Yeah, why not? But I don't like it based on the pullback that we got. You know, it's very steep, very strong. And from the recent higher lows, you know, we always want to try and label when you see an impulsive move, your biggest move with the highest amount of volume, your wave 3. Always, guys. It's like always. You always want to label the biggest move, potentially your wave 3 with the highest amount of volume. So we got that biggest move with the highest amount of volume, okay, throughout the last few days of this uptrend. When we consider multiple 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, that third wave from your latest 1 and 2, you do not want the correction to overlap the golden pocket. You just don't want to. You want a shallow correction and another 4-5, right? Get up and complete this third wave. And then, yes, you know, get a little bit more of a corrective move, because then the fourth wave in this area is literally the fourth wave from this 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then 5. And then all of this becomes your third wave, right? So the lower time frame wave 1s and 2s, you need to apply the same 4-5s to the next second wave, right? If that makes sense. I'm not sure if I'm explaining myself here clearly. But when you have 3 1-2s, which is, you know, totally fine for this to be a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, you got a small little one right over here throughout yesterday. When the biggest move up gets a retracement and hits the golden pocket from the wave 2 to your wave 3 high, right? That's the moment that you're like, first warning signs here. And, you know, this is the kind of pullback that maybe a lot of people want to rush in, right? We're at support, we're at the value area high, we're back testing this level. For me, it becomes a little bit of a risky long when we consider Elliott wave theory analyzed in this structure. It's the first major warning sign. You know, I didn't have any warning signs here despite hitting the point of control or anything, right? We're uptrending, guys. I'm going to give probabilities to the bulls. Bullish market structure, double 1-2, 1-2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't matter. You know, you're giving the uptrend momentum the probabilities instead of trying to, we got the point of control, we're going to reject. We got the golden pocket, we're going to reject, guys, from the golden pocket from all-time high to the low. You know, the small little reactions is fine, but getting into these shorts, well, eventually become very risky, as you can see here, right? Whoever tried to short the golden pocket, right, yesterday before hitting, you know, 120K or these lower highs, obviously got wrecked, right? Or got stopped out if they manage risk. So it just doesn't become an option, right? It just does not become an option when you're uptrending. When you're uptrending like this, it just does not become an option till you get your first sign of weakness and you start losing the levels. When you break trend, right? When you break the uptrend, your first sign of weakness, breaking the last higher low in an impulsive move, is the moment that you're like, okay, I don't like this movement down. It could be a leading move to the downside to bring more momentum down. That's the moment that we want to, you know, the bounce needs to be analyzed very, very carefully. So, yeah, we're just not in a perfect area, guys. Right now, we're not in a great situation to decide either a short or a long. I cannot be more clear. Last few days and, you know, 1 to 2 weeks, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's go, guys. We're uptrending. We're in longs, still in swing longs, maintaining longs. I'm looking for all-time high. I'm looking for higher. All good, guys. Probabilities are in our side. All very confident with the analysis throughout the last 1 to 2 weeks. 3-wave structure down, boom, bullish market structure, multiple 1-2s. We want to take out this high. All good, guys. We're looking for higher. Happy days, guys, right? Last week has been awesome, made awesome profits. If you want a quick solution right now to either long or short on Bitcoin, you know, I haven't got that answer in the immediate short term. I haven't got it. The moment we lose the value area high and we get down here and lose this higher low, and we can detect a 5-wave impulsive move down, and we get that choppy bounce, very overlappy, and it looks an absolute mess, then yeah, I'm going to bet that we are going to break down to lower levels. Value area low, sweep up these higher lows. You know, we got some, eventually you would expect a reaction at the value area low and these higher lows, which is with the 50% Fibonacci, run the pivot low to the pivot high or the golden pocket, right? You would expect some reaction, but you can take advantage of this move regardless. Take profit at the support. But yeah, right now, you know, for shorts, unless you're a sniper trader and you know, you got into the 0.88 Fibonacci from all-time high to the low, which is, you know, it is a risky bet when you form a big pump like this. But that's the level where we got rejected, right? These are sniper trades. They always need to be taken with good risk management. You know, it all depends on your trading style eventually, right? This is a trade that I would go in with, you know, 0.3% of my capital. Stop loss at all-time high potentially. We move down, I'm already very defensive. But when I'm into a swing trade and I realize that the swing can be big, right? I realize that this movement has high probability. That's the moment that I'm going to go with, you know, 3%, you know, even 4% if I'm feeling aggressive in that trade. But if I'm going to get into the 0.88 as a scalp day trade on the rejection, trying to, you know, get into the highest level possible, I'm going to go in very, very small, right? Because lots of people would have attempted yesterday the golden pocket or the point of control or a swing failure pattern. It's going to happen. And instead of waiting for the swing failure pattern, they just have limit shorts in the zone, right? And some stupid, you know, kind of strategy that's just going to get them stopped out with high leverage. If you're using a 50x leverage here, you're eventually getting liquidated with that pump. So yeah, you just don't want to trade like that, guys. You don't want to trade like that, because eventually you'll end up losing big time. Okay, no matter how many trades you win in the short term, you'll end up losing. I can tell you that. So not the best zone where we are at the moment, legends. I have to say, it is support. Okay, whoever's feeling good and that we are very, very bullish, which we are maintaining bullish market structure from the last swing higher low, which is this one at $118,000 at the point of control. We do have the lower highs of July with the value area high that is maintaining that support. We are at support. Support is where the price could bounce. For me, as I'm already in swing longs, you know, for me, it's not worth it here. It's not really not worth it, because when we do go to the lower time frames, you know, and we consider 1 2 1 2 1 2, if this is your third wave with the highest amount of volume, I don't want to see a fourth wave come this low. It's just not it's not nice. It is not nice. So yeah, a little bit skeptical here. Obviously the market structure is bullish, and on the higher time frame we are looking for all-time high to be taken regardless. If we do lose the value area high, okay, we could shoot up from here to all-time high, don't get me wrong, but I'm just looking for a better new long position if we get back inside of this area, right, the value area of this trading zone, because the only options that we do have are corrective. The only options that we do have are corrective. If we are looking for some kind of an impulsive move down to happen, you know, eventually, which it's just not even worth talking about it, guys. You know, the market is bullish, right? The market is bullish. If you're believing that we could reject from this area and break down from 112K successfully, you're just living in another planet. You just, you know, you always need to have a bearish case. But, you know, sometimes when you have these few bearish case scenarios, they literally all get invalidated at some point. They all get invalidated at some point. And we are at that point where all of the bearish case scenarios that is breaking down beneath this low successfully, they were already invalidated in this zone. It doesn't matter. But now even more. Now it's even more. It's a matter of time that we, you know, take all-time high, because you have a 3-wave move down. This is not a leading move. Okay, the only possibility that you would have here is forming a descending contracting diagonal, potentially. But even though that's, you know, you don't even want to consider that scenario here. You don't even want to consider it if you were to reject. You know, it's just silly talking at this point. If this is a double zigzag and then you break down, then, you know, eventually, I mean, it's stupid talking about this, if I'm honest with you at this point. And it's just to explain to you, there's no bearish case scenario. And if we were to get back inside of this area, we either looking for a 5-wave move down in an ABC, or we are looking for a WXY sideways corrective structure, which is either going to form a triangle and you just basically range inside still of the value areas, or you look for the flat. That could be a very interesting scenario as well, which is a dip. You move up to all-time high, you get another dip. It kind of creates that fake out. And then eventually this would be the most epic opportunity to get into the long eventually. So if none of that happens, then we look for all-time high and we maintain our long positions that we do have from lower, basically from the 115K zone, or even slightly below if you did enter below 115K, because we understand that the highest probability is taking out all-time high regardless of whatever happens in this area. And that's the main goal. That's the main kind of analysis that I try to explain for more swing trade activity, right? And this is why, you know, we've taken advantage in the last few days, being confident, guys, maintaining long positions, to then obviously see the huge, massive profits, you know, that has been happening throughout the last couple of weeks. Okay, so if you are interested in trading, guys, take advantage of the bonuses that you do have down below on exchanges that I do use. Right now, Bluffin is with the 10% cashback up to $3,000, guys. Okay, you can use that on top of your trading, and you got VIP 1 and VIP 2. What this means is that your fees go down drastically on your trading activity. I mean, this is mainly for whales, people that are going to deposit, you know, 50K or more than 100K, right? They will be getting instantly that VIP, which is very, very, you know, very, very interesting, of course, because you do get the fees getting decreased insanely, guys. You got Bluffin link down below, okay? It is the second link in the description for Bluffin. 10% cash back, okay, on your deposit. And if you deposit more, eventually you do get those VIP perks, which are decreasing your fees. Let's go through the comment section and analyze. I think we need to analyze some altcoins, guys. I think it's about time. Ethereum wants to pop out, okay? There's, I think Ethereum is, you know, can it reach its all-time high eventually with this rally? Absolutely. Yesterday we did a video update analyzing the Ethereum chart, which is, you know, literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could we still be in the third wave, or is this the fifth wave? Your fourth wave was a little bit small in time, I have to say, but you know, what we do have as a possibility here is really analyzing the next coming days for Ethereum. This is a dangerous zone for people to either short or long. It is dangerous for shorts or longs, okay? Where do we like to get into trades, guys? In pullbacks, in consolidations. You know, this is because we want to take advantage of the next leg up. When there's this volatility and a massive big pump, you're going to get people shorting and price going higher that are getting wrecked, and people that are longing with too much leverage at the highs, which is what usually happens, right? I'm missing the pump and we're going to go to all-time high, and you just kind of long the little dips till you get the big pullback. This is the zone of interest, guys. You know, the range that we could be forming in the next coming days, and that's where you take advantage. We take advantage of these movements up, right? We want to take advantage of these movements. They are very, very easy to read once you get them. And this is why I do have XRP and also Cardano, guys, that I want to talk about, because we did get a first pullback down and it looks amazing right now. And there could be a way of getting into some swing longs in this area already, guys. Okay, don't get me wrong. We have pumped throughout the last few days. Yes, okay, that's fine. I just want to make you understand that claiming this low at the moment has quite low probability. And it all has to do with this correction, which can be explained throughout the live stream, okay? But taking out $1.30 in the coming weeks for Cardano is extremely likely. The only doubt that I have locally here is that the lows at 70 cents could be claimed, 69 cents if you wish. This movement looks impulsive. There is a flat scenario risk here, but overall I do see this as a finished correction. There's no kind of ABC movement here. I would consider it a finished WXY. And already here we are forming this rally, okay? The first major leg to the upside. So what we want to consider here on Cardano, if you wish, guys, I'm going to go through the comment section. Maybe some of you are not interested in Cardano. Can you talk about Ethereum? Everyone is here for Ethereum. We have a problem with Ethereum, okay? Ethereum is just, it's been rallying like crazy. This is not enough of a pullback to consider any major long, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, you can get into scalp longs at the lows here. Once you sweep up the lows, you can do that. Let's just explain the latest move on Ethereum, guys. I think a pullback is just around the corner. If you analyze the latest move up on Ethereum, we can see that first leg up. Very nice, very beautiful. Bang. Big move in the last few days. Insane move, guys. 3,500 to 4,300. If you believe that Ethereum is going to do this in the next coming days, well, let me tell you, that is unlikely to happen. This is all-time high right over here. If you're expecting Ethereum to follow through like this in the next coming days, let me tell you that is unlikely. This is unlikely to happen when we analyze the movements that have happened in the last few weeks and the last few days. How? Why? explain. Because, and just looking at the latest move, guys, the latest move up from this week, basically, right? From last week. This movement, the biggest move already happened. And now you have this consolidation, which can be labeled as your internal wave 4. And then your last wave 5 that could be developing now, which is going to stretch its legs maybe to 4.4K, maybe 4.5K even. And, you know, eventually I would be expecting a significant pullback range formation. Because, you know, as I explained throughout yesterday's video, you know, this is part of the big move, right? This is part of the big move, regardless if this was your third wave or your third wave is getting developed still, because you do have a little potential small little wave 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 5. You know, maybe your third wave is still getting developed. But eventually you would be looking for a range pullback in the next coming days. And that's where we want to take action. That's where we want to take action in continuing the momentum to the upside, right? We're almost just about to hit the 1.618 extension. I mean, we could label this as still your third wave. So this is a dangerous area. I mean, it is a dangerous zone. People that are longing all the way up here, you know, will get punished. You know, will you take profit on the little pumps? Will you take profit on the high, at the highs? That is the question. You can take them as scalps. And the people that are shorting, well, you know, are also probably going to get punished, right? You're going to get that rally, extra rally here in your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Squeeze out a little bit more. You might extend people, you know, if you use too much leverage, then you'll get punished, right? So the best option here for Ethereum is wait for a correction that will happen. It will happen. It will happen. There's no such thing as Valhalla, you know, straight up. We are going to get some kind of a correction in the next coming days, a larger one, regardless if it's still going to be, you know, your wave 4 of your 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll be analyzing very, very carefully that on Ethereum. And then your wave 5, take all-time high, then a larger pullback throughout, you know, September, October. Or maybe it's a double 1, 2, where you have a 1, 2, 1, and 2. We just need that pullback, guys. We need a kind of a range to detect the corrective move. I mean, yeah, right now, locally, what can we say? I'm mainly focusing on a higher time frame. You got a bit of a double bottom situation here. Let's go through 1 minute time frame. Yeah, I mean, this could be the one that actually breaks out here on Ethereum. 382, a little bit shallow. A little bit shallow for your wave 2. But yeah, we could be developing the last leg up here on Ethereum. That gets to 4.4, 4.5 maybe. Where it's your wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And we're looking for the last leg up here. In a nutshell, guys, yeah, you're looking for your last leg up before a major correction from your latest wave of last week, right? It's just textbook here. You formed a flat today. Yeah, I mean, this would have been the option for the long, even though maybe some people were looking for a swing failure pattern, but flats, getting at the lows always brings you the best option. Always brings you the best option, especially for a flat. Right? I mean, they do happen a lot. They do happen often, right? Boom, boom, boom. Take out the highs, take out the lows, reclaim. That's your reclaim sign of strength. They do happen a lot, the flats, right? We even had one right over here. Well, this one, you know, we could discuss, maybe this was the zigzag down, but you could also consider take the highs, take the lows, reclaim the lows, right? Reclaim the lows right over here again, and then boom, 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 bang, right? You can see how this is the same thing as this right over here. It's literally the same price action. And this that we had today is also literally the same price action, but on the lower time frame, right? You didn't quite take out the lows, I have to say. It's not the same, but you get the deal. And these are very common for fourth waves as well. These kind of flat structures are very common for a fourth wave. 1, 2, 3, big move, 3, 4, boom, you get your last wave 5 potentially getting developed here. So I think we need to talk. I don't see any big major opportunity right now on Ethereum, guys, right? This has left the station. We really need to wait for a pullback. And shorting becomes dangerous, of course, because we never know on that lower time frame how extensive your wave 5 can be, right? It's just, you know, not worth it for shorts, not worth it for longs at the moment. We need the pullback situation that will be developed in the next coming days at some point. And that's the moment that we can detect. But this is why I want to pull out XRP. This is why I want to pull out Cardano, because here we do have very good options. Here we do have very good options because Cardano has high probability in hitting the highs of $1.30. So yeah, I want to take advantage of this movement, right? The moment that we come up with an insane pump at some point and you say, take a look at Cardano, it's mooning, I'm going to be like, yeah, I mean, we should have got in at lower prices. We should have got into the consolidations. And if you do let me talk about Cardano, we could take advantage of this trade setup that could get developed in, you know, 1 to 2 weeks approximately. You know, we never know the exact timing. We don't know when it's going to break out massively with volume, but that's what we're very much anticipating based on the corrective structure that we have formed and our first big major sign of strength, which is this one, which counts very well as an impulse. And we got our, you know, just a confirmation of a 3-wave structure down here. So this is confirming that we are going to take out this high, and hopefully it will be a wave 3 and it takes out this high right over here. So there's extreme high probability that we are going to, you know, get some upside momentum here on Cardano for the next coming weeks, right? Because then I'll be getting out from that trade in this zone and people will be distracted. Take a look at Cardano because it's pumped up, you know, 100% in the last, you know, 24 hours. And I'll be like, yeah, we're already in that trade, right? Just like someone just said in the comment section, everybody wants to know about Ethereum. Everybody wants to know about Ethereum. Ethereum has rallied like crazy already. You know, what's this thing about? Talk about Ethereum. It's the one that's moving. Well, yeah, we talked about this, you know, 4 or 5 months ago where we said, guys, buy now before everybody gets in and start saying, talk about Ethereum because that's the one that's going to, you know, it's going to pump. This is the moment 4 months ago, 3-4 months ago, that we need to talk about Ethereum. This is the moment that get in, guys, here, wherever it is, get in. 1,600, 700, breaking down below $1,000 is extremely unlikely. It's just not going to happen, guys. You know, buy at 1.8, 1.6, 1.4 in that zone. Invalidation, you know, have it beneath the lows here, below $1,000. You know, be excited for the next coming weeks. That's the moment where we need to get in. That's the moment that we need to talk about Ethereum. Not now. We know it's going to hit all-time high at some point, and you should already be positioned regardless on spot or on swings. So, you know, Cardano, guys, I'm gonna keep it clear. I'm gonna keep it clear here. You take action as you wish. But as explained, this high at $1.30, extremely likely to be taken. Even this local high that we formed last week, 2 weeks ago actually, at $93, very likely to be taken. My overall question here, is the low in right now? I mean, this movement here to the upside that we've had is very three-wavy for the moment. You really don't want to get in here after a three-wave move up, because a double zigzag could definitely happen. Zigzag down, zigzag up, zigzag down. But I mean, this would be the sweet spot. This would be the sweet spot, guys, on Cardano. I mean, the low could be in already. Don't get me wrong. The low could be in. So, you know, getting into 0.5% invalidation at the low. And if you get that leg down, you have dry powder to add 1 to 2% and make it a bigger trade. But just in case the low could be in and you don't want to miss the move, you know, you can get into a very small position, because the overall idea is taking out these highs in the next coming weeks. So, you know, sometimes you're not going to get that perfect entry and you need to de-risk on what you enter, because, you know, you definitely don't want to FOMO in. But this is still in the very corrective zone. The question is that I have in my mind, will this correction extend and take out the local lows here at 69 cents? That's the question that I have. It's either rally from here or take out the lows and rally. You know, these are the options that we have on Cardano. They are both bullish. They are both high probability. So, you know, you need to adapt your leverage and how much you're risking, right? We always talk about don't use too much leverage. Don't use too much capital, right? Maintain it into the 2-3%. Don't go all in, guys. This is making profits throughout the weeks and months, so we're going to have a good P&L at the end of the year for all of those people that have just a couple of $1,000 and they want to try and flip it and double, triple exit, right, in 1-2 weeks. You're likely going to lose it very fast instead of growing it if you're looking to double your account. You will double it at some point, but you will lose it long term, okay? It's just how it works. And many people can confirm in the comment section. Anyway, let's go right away. What about Solana? Sui. Yeah, little peek at Gala, please, says Keaton. Yeah, we can take a look at Gala right away. We can, wow, so many different ones. Talk about Bitcoin, says Jerome. Yeah, Bitcoin is, we've talked about Bitcoin. There is the risk of getting a larger pullback, okay? There is the risk of getting a larger pullback. Why is there a risk? There is a way of counting a potential double zigzag in this movement to the upside. Okay, there is a way of counting it where you have a zigzag here. You got your correction. And then a small little zigzag in this zone. It's a little bit too quick. But there is that possibility. It's overall bullish, guys. In no means I am bearish, okay? In no means. As long as we maintain structure-wise, guys, I mean, it's just simply going through structure. We're maintaining value area high. We're maintaining higher lows, higher swing lows here on the structure. Okay, it's maintaining higher swing lows for the moment. The last higher swing low was the one from this morning or yesterday at 118K, where the point of control is. I do not want Bitcoin to lose this level. That's the moment that I would be concerned for a larger pullback and a larger range here. As long as we maintain above the structure last higher low, which is 118K, we could be still very much, you know, bouncing and going to higher levels. I mean, this is how we detect, guys, signs of weakness and signs of strength. Signs of weakness, still not any, guys. This pullback is a little bit too much for my taste. It is still support, resistance, support flip, and value area high. Anybody that wants to take a long, you know, just maintain risk. I don't like it. I don't like it. I went long, you know, throughout the previous weeks, and you know, that's obviously their big position, so very much happy with that. ICP, what? Guys, on yesterday's video, I actually got somebody thinking that ICP paid me as a promotion because I've been talking about it on a few guys. I only talk about it a lot because I believe in the project, and I do hold a bag, and I do see high potential. It's just like Chainlink, and I told them, well, Chainlink must have paid me a fortune because I've been talking about Chainlink for years, guys, for years. And I'm not sure if you are a legit follower or you're a new follower, but whoever's a follower of the channel from, you know, 2022 or even earlier does know that I talked about Chainlink on my streams every single day, guys. I mean, maybe there was 1 or 2 days that I didn't talk about it, but in this range, I was talking about buying Bitcoin, buying Chainlink every week, guys. We need to buy Chainlink in this zone of, you know, $5, $8. Just buy. This is going to turn out good in the next, you know, 1-2 years. It's just a good accumulation zone. It's very classic for the bear market. Awesome project. This is finding a floor. Very, very confident. And, you know, this was my biggest, has been my biggest altcoin holding. My average entry zone, counting the one that I bought in 2019, is, you know, in between $5 and $7 approximately. You know, the average entry zone, because most of my Chainlink was actually bought here. And yeah, Chainlink hasn't paid me a single dime, guys. It's just the same as ICP. I literally got about 5 comments, guys, on yesterday's video. You know, how much did ICP pay for you, right? It's nothing, guys. I just really strongly believe that, you know, you want to get into the accumulation areas. It's simple. You do not want to get in on the pumps, guys. You do not want to get in after an accumulation, you know, in the rally here. If you're buying for the long term, and this is a buy for the long term, guys. And there is the risk with the technical analysis that the lows on ICP could be tested. Just because the local structure doesn't look bullish enough for a multiple 1-2, that, you know, there is a situation here with, you know, I am very much aware that we could dip down beneath $4. I would just go in very, very heavily because I understand the overall structure from the last few years, which is your first impulsive move up. We only got one impulse to the upside. And there's no flat here to be talked about and continuation down. There's no flat. There's just one impulsive move up. And the market moves in 3 waves or in 5 waves. Always, guys, always. This is like the level of confidence that I have on ICP to get the pump and take out $20 in the next coming months, guys. It's just the level of confidence that I have. Market always moves in 3 waves or 5 waves, regardless if it's going to be a complex WXY and then a triangle or whatever. It always moves in 3 waves or 5 waves. And we've only got 1 wave to the upside, which counts as an impulse. Your biggest wave is here with the highest amount of volume. It's just crystal clear, guys. You know, I do not know what I'm going to talk about once this, you know, takes out this high. I'll be like, that's it, guys. You know, the opportunity has gone through the window, right? Whoever joined, then happy days. Whoever didn't, then, you know, better luck next time, next cycle, right? So anyway, yeah, it's just something that I want people to take advantage of, guys. Nothing else. Okay. So anyway, let's see how many likes we do have, guys. Oh my goodness, the like button is not doing well. Oh my goodness, the like button is not doing well, legends. Let's go through the comment section. Say hello to the beautiful community that are here. Dogecoin, I guess, is a very interesting one. Ethereum just about to take out the highs. So Ethereum does look like it wants to, you know, I do believe that Ethereum is on that last local fifth wave. Local fifth wave to the upside. Yeah. It does look like that we are just about to get that last push up. 4.4, 4.5, might stretch to 4.6 from this clear corrective range that we had last couple of weeks. 1, 2, 3. You got your sideways momentum for your fourth. This could be the one that stretches its legs. There's, you know, I would not get into any longs on Ethereum on this movement up. I would not short it either because it can stretch its legs quite a bit, and then it will start the correction. It's just not a zone that I'm, you know, particularly interested of doing anything. Anyway, let's see how many likes we can get, guys, because like button is lagging very much. Probably got about 200 at the moment. Hang on a second, I'm having some issues here unloading the unloading YouTube, guys. Give me a sec here. Having some issues. Let me know if I'm still live. Let me know, guys. Andy, what are you thinking about Rune? I think Rune is awesome. I think Rune is also, we are looking for a recovery on Rune. I think Rune is an awesome project. Ooh, this actually looks pretty nice. This actually does look quite nice. Yeah, this looks pretty damn good, guys. This does look pretty damn good for an awesome recovery. Pretty clear impulsive move to the upside on Rune. Big correction. Yeah, I mean, this is probably the moment that Rune starts breaking out, huh? I think buying Rune or getting into low leverage swing longs here is not a bad idea. When we do analyze the structure from the last few months, pretty clear 5-wave move up. Very, very steep double zigzag. You got a zigzag here, flat, and another zigzag down. Double zigzag, very aggressive. Hitting the 7.8, almost the 0.88 from the low to the high. And then your nice rally here that can also be labeled as a 5-wave structure. Because you got your 1, 2, a bit of a sideways complex correction. You got a bit of a flat X movement down, big leg up, 4, 5, 4, 5, or multiple 1, 2s, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. I mean, Rune is on the verge of a massive recovery, in my opinion. Looks awesome on the chart. Let's continue here. Have you seen Arrow? I think it was you, Eugene. Let's get that like button destroyed, legends. How many likes do we have? Over 200. Let's try and get to 300 likes. Arrow was one that we took a look at on a stream a few days ago. Was it you that asked about Arrow, which we were talking about a double 1-2 setup and a triple 1-2 setup, actually? And yeah, there it is. It happened. A few days ago, someone in the comment section asked about this, and I was like, yeah, you probably want to get in. You probably want to get in because we were analyzing this as a possible flat structure after obviously the impulse, right? Take out the low. The fact that you have formed, you know, a lower high so close to this pivot, Arrow, you know, high probability that it's going to take out all-time highs at $2.40. And when you form on the higher time frame, and this is the opportunity area, guys. You know, this was a few days ago. Who was it that talked about Arrow and we pulled it on the chart and we said, wow, this is insane. You know, this is actually the moment that we could be forming a double 1-2, where it's either a 1-2, 1 and 2 in a flat, or a triple 1-2, and we are looking for this to get a breakout in a third wave. And we were just trading. I need to find that stream. We talked about the trend breakout, or already get into a long, have a tight invalidation here, and if you take out the low, you just jump in again later on, right? We talked about this. Hey, getting stopped out, it doesn't matter. It's just going to give you, if you get stopped out, just in case you get a successful breakdown, you don't want to you want to have a stop loss. Re-enter again once you get the reaction and put your stop loss again beneath that low after the liquidity grab. So there was two options to get into this long on Arrow, which was mentioned a few days ago, guys. When did this break out? On Wednesday, Thursday. So the stream must have been on Wednesday or Thursday potentially. Looking for that breakout wave 3 at some point. And yeah, this pumped 60-70% in the last few days, which was absolutely insane. Very, very nice. Yeah, Arrow, what we could be looking at is just continuation to the upside. We're getting that possible breakout in a wave 3. So, you know, this could be your wave, you know, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You're still developing that third wave. Obviously you don't want to FOMO in. You need a pullback here, a proper one. These are too shallow, if you ask me. But yeah, we talked about Arrow already. The opportunity was already here, guys. When you have clear impulsive moves to the upside and you get these pullbacks coming down to the golden pocket or 7/8 Fibonacci with a very clear corrective pattern, you know, that's the moment that you want to take advantage, right? Big rally correction. And the options that we had on Arrow here last week was you're long, you're targeting the highs and higher, stop loss at the low. If this gets a stop loss, you just re-enter again, because you will pay your stop loss by, you know, 4 or 5 times, right? It doesn't matter. You will make profits regardless on this movement. I'm not sure if you were the one that talked about Arrow here, but there was someone in the comment section last week, and we did pull out Arrow, looking at a very good opportunity. So yeah, 𝗬𝗫, I'm not sure if it was you that asked about for. I think it was me. Turned 800 into 4K, says 𝗬𝗫. Absolutely awesome, brother. I'm glad that you took advantage of that Arrow trade, because it was one of those that were very, very clear. There was a clear setup. And when we zoomed out on Arrow and we realized about this, you know, flat structure already and bullish market structure, which is usually what happens before you create the big wave up, it was like, it was a no-brainer, guys. You need to get into the pullback at the golden pocket 7/8 fib zone of the impulsive move. It's just a no-brainer. And if you take the low here, it's a flat. We're still looking for that leg up. So congratulations on you, man, making some really decent profits on that. Cardano is one of them, guys, that is looking very, very, very juicy. Okay, as mentioned, there's high probability on Cardano to take out this high, and it might break out in a third wave, and high probability in taking out $1.30 as well. Understanding that this is corrective after this major impulse. It's a no-brainer, guys. We need to be in this wave. Don't get in the wave when it happens. Be inside of the wave as it's developing, right? So what we can see is this being an impulse on Cardano, right? The only thing right now that is a little bit disturbing is, can we form a double zigzag? That's the only thing that I'm concerned on Cardano. And, you know, 50% to the 7/8 is your interest zone to get in at the best levels. 50% is the one that's holding, but this is the interest zone on Cardano, right? Right now it's rallying ever so slightly. It is a bit of a zigzaggy move up, getting a reaction, so there is danger. I'm considering the Bitcoin dominance getting a bounce. Okay, you know, this is why we want to be a little bit cautious on some altcoins. On Ethereum, which is probably forming its last little leg up before a bigger corrective zone, and the Bitcoin dominance getting a significant relief rally that eventually will bring a pullback on many altcoins. Obviously, Cardano has the risk of coming down here to this 60 to 69 cent zone, right? Which is taking out these lows, which will only bring the opportunity, guys. If we get this movement on Cardano, which I will have my alert set and I will be ready, this could be that 3-wave move down, right? Of course, the price could leave without us, but you know, this is why if you want to get into a 0.5% trade long and, you know, invalidation at the low, depending on how the market reacts in this zone, you can always add 1% or 1.5% to that position once we get a confirmation that we are reclaiming the lows and we're not breaking down successfully, that to take advantage of this leg up, guys. You know, there's a leg up that's going to happen on Cardano to take out $1.30 in the next coming days or 1 to 2 weeks, right? We are looking for this wave up on Cardano, highly likely to happen. So yeah, I mean, that's one of them that looks good and looks juicy. Can Ethereum dump today? Absolutely. Why not? Why not? Look, we talked about Ethereum on yesterday's video update, guys. Whoever joined yesterday's video update, we're realizing that we can be in the last wave 5, or we got another 4-5 to develop. This was mentioned on yesterday's video on Ethereum. Why are we talking about the dominance? We're likely going to correct at some point. We're likely going to correct at some point, and that corrective move is going to give us the opportunity to jump back in, especially if we do not take out all-time highs in the next coming days, right? Regardless, there is going to be some kind of a decent pullback, because you have your first wave 1 and 2. Could it be another wave 1 and 2? I don't know, maybe. Then 3. Could it be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Your fourth wave is small in time. Preferably, we might be still in the third wave and we create a larger consolidation after getting a rejection before hitting all-time high. And then the wave 5, that might be, you know, it might be the last leg up, guys. Maybe it is. It might be the last leg up of the bull run, you know, hitting, you know, 6K. It might be a double 1-2. We're going to take out all-time high regardless on Ethereum. But the question right now here is, you know, we're likely going to get some kind of a correction pullback here, guys. It's going to happen. Taking out the all-time highs or not, it's going to happen. You're in the biggest wave that's been developed right now. And you do not want to be part of it at the highs, okay? Shorting is risky, longing is risky. That, you know, it's not the best area to consider any swings, right? Any swing longs or shorts. Ethereum is going higher before it dumps, says Manuel. Well, yeah, I mean, as explained, when you analyze the waves locally, okay, it's just, I mean, it's the latest move up. I just need to know the latest move up after the large range that we had a few weeks ago. And it's, you know, when we take a look at the biggest range before continuing to the upside, the start of that wave up is from here. And you have the first clear 1 and 2 here. It's just you cannot make this up, guys. You cannot make it up. The biggest move happened last week. We are ranging a little bit in the last couple of days. And now maybe we are creating that last, fifth wave up. Okay, so it can push another couple of $100, but I would be very much aware that a pullback is going to happen, and we'll be analyzing that pullback throughout the next coming days to take advantage of the next leg up, so we need to understand that it might be larger than we think, and it might take a couple of weeks throughout August to develop, just because this could still be part of the wave 3. Okay, and remember this range that happened in May and part of June, guys. This was 4 weeks of a consolidation. And when you have this on the higher time frame, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, right? Because this could be labeled as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're in the 5th wave of the 5th wave right now, which is almost reaching the 1.618 extension, which is your common target to finish your wave 3. Sorry, my bad. What am I doing? This is on the logarithmic. There we go. I thought so. Right, so we're almost reaching up here the 1.618 extension, which is 4,500. You can count the waves. You can see the biggest move has been developed. So I think I do believe that we're not going to reach all-time high on this pump, and that we are going to likely correct and range for a few weeks and then get the next leg up. Just because when you look at the symmetry of the higher time frame, and we could be just finishing our wave 3 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could be at the end stages of that, the 3rd wave, right? And when we do go through Elliott wave theory, guys, we're literally looking at this, looking at the 5th wave getting developed right now, and a pullback is likely to happen at some point. Okay, and that pullback needs to be analyzed very, very carefully for us to get into the trade, right? We get into pullbacks, trying to detect the highs for a short right now is risky. Getting into longs is also risky. Make sure to take profit on that, move up of $50. Just be quick, because a pullback consolidation is very much expected. And that's the moment, guys. When you get into a long trade, right? You don't get into a long in this, at the highs. You want to understand the range, okay? And claim the lows, reclaim the lows. This is the zone that you want to be bullish. Sometimes you just need to wait for this, guys. This is a mirror, guys, from this consolidation, right? This zone is the same as this one. Look how you sweep up the lows and you reclaim them. And you even back test it, guys. It's just like, my goodness, sometimes you just need to wait for these kind of setups, realizing that you could have a flat here or the zigzag down. You get back above after the liquidity grab, reclaim the level, you're bullish here, stop loss at the low, you're targeting the highs. Flat scenario, you reclaim the level, you reject, pullback is where you get in. Stop loss at the low, you target the highs. This was in the last, basically last week. So yeah, anyway, a range and a correction is around the corner, in my opinion, for Ethereum. Bitcoin doing its job. Bitcoin all-time high, regardless of whatever happens. Bullish market structure is still imminent. We're back testing the resistance as support, the value area high. If we get back inside here, I will be skeptical of what could happen. We'll be analyzing the movement down, giving the different options. We could move down in a 5-wave structure depending on the local movement down. We could be forming a large triangle for over a week here. Of course, this would be insanely bullish. Sideways WXY breakout to finally, go to $130,000 potentially. On the higher time frame, we do have several options. Option that is looking quite attractive at the moment is the ascending contracting diagonal here. This is looking very, very attractive for the moment. It is the wave that looks likely hit 125, 130 zone and then get a larger pullback in the next couple of months. The most bullish case scenario eventually is this, right? Which is, it's still a possibility. We just smashed through all-time high in a third wave in the next coming days. Expect the unexpected, they say. Well, there is a scenario of the most bullish one, which is this one. All-time highs to be taken, guys, as we do expect it since the last few weeks, which is bringing us insane swing long profits. Okay, I hope that this can get to a 6-figure profit. It wouldn't be too bad for a trade that has been taken in the last few weeks. Would be absolutely awesome. That's the main idea here. I'm going to rainbow flag it soon. That gets the attention. Super chatos. Oh yeah, let's go. I got a super chat here. Sorry about that, guys. I'm so bad with super chat. Let's go right away. Thanks for the super chat, brother. Habib, much love to you. We do have a super chat here from 𝗖𝗿𝘆𝗽𝗁. Much love, my man. Thanks for the super chat. Andy, now that you're taking a look at altcoins, could you please look at Verge? This one always seems to pump fast when the market rallies. Let's take a look at Verge right away. Thank you, 𝗖𝗿𝘆𝗽𝗁. I'm so sorry about that. I hope that I don't have any. This is why I don't get many super chats, guys, because I'm an absolute mess with super chats. Anyway, thanks for the super chat, brother. Let's take a look at Verge. Super chatos, hermanos. Pac-Man, thank you very much for joining, brother. Crypto big brains, legends. We've got moderators giving power here. Thanks, Pac-Man. Much love to you, my man. Thank you very much. Haha, here we go. No hate overall. Love, says Staffa1. Much love to you, brother. Thank you very much. Don't waste your time. He's doing it on purpose. He literally pulled up the chart earlier and saw it. 𝗖𝗿𝘆𝗽𝗁, let's take a look at it right away. Sorry, my man. Yeah, I did see it, but I just, I have, the attention problems, guys. Sorry about that. I do definitely have attention problems, okay? Let's take a look at Verge right away. When I'm focused on one thing, there's only one thing I can take a look at a time, right? My missus says that, right? When I'm doing something and she's talking to me, I'm like, yeah, okay. I think everybody does that, though. It's not only me. And she's like, are you listening to me? And I'm like, yeah, I'm listening. What did I say? And then it's like, she caught me. Legends. Let's take a look at Verge here from my man 𝗖𝗿𝘆𝗽𝗁, and let's see how many likes we do have. This is XVG as ticker symbol. Let me just get a drink of water as we do get that like button destroyed, and we'll go through the XVG chart. XVG chart right away. Pac-Man, thank you very much for the reminder. Ooh, this one looks interesting. This one looks interesting. Without a doubt, we could be forming some bullish market structure here, ready for the pop. Are we ready for that third wave pop? I think we could. We could be ready. We'll be analyzing this local momentum. You got the pump and dump already, so you don't want to be part of any of this. And now we're forming the build up, right? Are we forming the build up here? That's what we're going to be taking a look at this one for 𝗖𝗿𝘆𝗽𝗁. Okay. No moving averages, no RSI, no nothing, guys. Just pure price action and chart. Yeah, you know, this move is not the greatest move up, I have to say. Oh man. We're gonna give it a chance for the bulls. But this movement up, without a doubt, is disturbing. It's, you know, it's very, very three-wavy. But the fact that we've had a rally here to almost take out the local highs from May is muy importante. It's muy importante. That means that this high is, you know, likely going to be taken at some point, right? It's likely going to be taken. You could have a little squeezed wave 4 and 5 here. It just doesn't look great. Okay, this is the thing about altcoins. Sometimes some charts will look amazing. Some other altcoins will be very, very difficult. But this one looks absolutely awesome. Just because you've had this leg to the upside, it's almost taken the high. And this leg up does count better as an impulse. This one does count better as a 5-wave structure. And eventually this one does look very nice as a 3-wave correction. So far so good on this one. You know what would be nice? I mean, unless you got into the trend breakout, this would be an easy trend breakout trade. Trend breakout trades are awesome if you can detect a 5-wave move up and a 3-wave move to the downside. Trend breakouts are awesome to get in. Now, what I would be suggesting here, you are correcting down here very shallow on the lower time frame. So it does look like, you know what would be the best option for this one is to take out the high one more time and then get a correction. Okay, and then jump in on the higher low structure. Okay, at the 50% 7/8 Fibonacci, maintain higher lows, detect that we do have a 5-wave move up, because for the moment this is 3-wave up, and a 3-wave up is not the best option to participate, because you literally could take out the lows in a double zigzag again. If the lows are taken, swing failure pattern is the option. If you take out the lows at 5.7 cents is the option here on XVG. If you form one more leg up and you move down, which we would be expecting a move down, the 50% to the 7/8 is your option to get into the trade, with your invalidation being the low. Okay, but you need one more leg up to complete that impulsive move, because for the moment it is 3-wave, and the risk of having a 3-wave move and getting into this pullback is that you could have a double zigzag situation here where you actually, you know, take out the lows, which eventually is going to get stopped out of many people here, right? So there's two options here. You either move down in the next week or two, which is a possibility, and you look for the swing failure pattern. You look for the low and reclaim with bullish market structure to jump into the trade as we do get this movement back up the low. Or you either wait for this for the entry after taking the low, or you take out the high and then you pull back down to sweep up these lows, and that's the moment between 50% and 7/8 Fibonacci, with your invalidation being the low that you want to get in. You know, and obviously you're looking for the highs and even these highs to be taken, right? And maybe break out finally. Looking for that double 1-2, right? 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 3, 4, 5, right? You finally get the breakout. So all of these different altcoins are definitely on the verge of getting the large move up. There's no doubt about it. They are on the verge of getting the leg to the upside. So just, you know, wait for the levels, wait for the scenarios to detect. Okay, so that's the analysis on Verge right over there. Fartcoin, let's take a look at Fartcoin. Absolutely, why not? Fartcoin, let's go. Fartcoin. I mean, this has to be one of the best performing meme coins that there has been. Getting a bit of a pullback here on Fartcoin. Oh, I mean, if Fartcoin, yeah, this, I mean, without a doubt, if you sweep up the lows here, that's your entry trigger. The moment you sweep up the lows and reclaim here, because, I mean, this could be an ABC flat. We're going to analyze the latest move to the downside, which is the most important one from the last couple of weeks, which is going to give us that information, because it could be a 5-waver down where you have your 3-wave down, also a double zigzag up in your B wave. It's very choppy. We're not going to analyze this. No need. You took out the highs, and now, you know, preferably you take out the lows on Fartcoin, and this is where you go absolutely crazy with swing long. You go crazy on swing long here if you claim the lows. And I think most importantly, we need to zoom in on the 4-hourly time frame to really analyze this latest move to the downside, which is, I mean, yeah, we could be forming a 5-wave move down, which is good. I mean, it is good, because when you analyze this 5-wave move, right, your wave 4, perfect, 382 to 50% Fibonacci, that's where we are getting the resistance. You know, it's just a textbook scenario looking at Fibonacci here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4th wave, 382, 50%. If you take out the low in your 5th wave, you might think we have an impulse to the downside. But when you zoom out and you analyze the bullish momentum here, which is crazy, and then the movement down in a zigzag, movement up to take out the highs, you know, 5-wave structure in your C wave to complete that flat would be ideal. And we could be forming that 5th wave in the next coming days. It would be ideal, guys. This would be the opportunity for a swing long. It's going to take many weeks to develop, to take out the highs on Fartcoin at $1.6070, but it would be the opportunity. It would be the opportunity, guys, to make insane gains on this one. Insane gains, though. Sweep up the lows of June, and you have a completed 5-wave structure inside of your ABC flat. The momentum is bullish from the previous months. We are looking for that altcoin season eventually to the end of the year. It's going to be a big opportunity, guys. And, you know, you want to take advantage of the big swings, right? Forget about the little movements, which are just going to stress you out. This will be the bomb diggity move, guys. It's going to be the move. So I think it's a matter of remaining patient. I mean, could it be a running flat? The low is in. Well, so far, we have moved up in a 3-wave structure. I mean, the best option here would be a double 1-2. However, your second wave 1 is larger than your first wave 1. And that is very common for an ABC. Not for a double 1-2. Your second 1 and 2 preferably is similar in size or even smaller than your first 1-2. So that's already like, you know, what should I do here? I think the best option is to remain patient. A sign of strength here on Fartcoin. If you're not going to take out the low for that insane long, guys, this is like insane. How many charts do we see that we sweep up the higher time frame low, okay, higher time frame last swing low, and then we reclaim it, and then it's, you know, up to Valhalla, guys? How many times? You know, Ethereum is the best option. How many times of a big range, right? Sweep up the lows. Reclaim it. Sweep up the lows. Reclaim it. ABC flat. How many times, guys? I mean, we could go all day long and find all of this on every single chart. How many times does this happen? Well, when you apply this to Fartcoin on the higher time frame, this is looking for a big swing, right? We're talking about 100, 200% pump at a bare minimum. So yeah, get ready, guys, for Valhalla on this one, because it's probably going to be the last opportunity. So Fartcoin, I mean, I'm going to set some alerts myself, guys. I cannot miss this trade. I miss so many trades on altcoins just because you can't trade everything, guys. You know, it's just we're going to set some alerts at the lows right there. So I get the alert on the phone, and I'm just going to remain patient to reclaim the level and change bullish market structure. The moment we get back up here with a nice leg up, it's going to be the golden ticket, guys. It's going to be the golden ticket. So Solana says 𝗖𝗍𝗄𝗍. Pac-Man, much love. So we have weeks left in this run. Is that in general? I mean, for the moment, Bitcoin is the leader, and Bitcoin looks a-okay. Bitcoin looks pretty damn good still to take out all-time highs. Solana, what can we say about Solana? Man, I like that Fartcoin chart. It looks absolutely awesome. Let's take a look at Solana and see what's going on with Solana. I'm going to set some alerts here as well on, well, no need to set alerts on Cardano. It's another trade that I'm looking at. I want to talk about total 3 and total crypto market cap, just to make you understand that we are looking at a bullish rest of the year, guys. I've been taking a look at total 3 and total crypto market cap, and it looks, it is poised, guys, that we do get that finally the massive euphoria stage throughout the next coming months. Anyway, let's go through Solana. Fartcoin can be traded on bluffing, guys. I'm 100% sure that they do have Fartcoin without a doubt. Fartcoin can be traded on bluffing. It can be traded on weeks, guys. You got insane bonuses. Remember, deposit to receive VIP 1 and 2. Of course, this is more for whales. Not everybody can afford to deposit 25 or 50k on exchanges, but you do get VIP 1 with 25k or VIP 2, which incredibly decreases the fees, guys, on your trading setups, and you get $3,000 cashback. Okay, 10% cashback. So yeah, if you deposit 30k, you'll be getting $3,000 on top of that, guys, for your trading. Take advantage. You get that as you sign up with the link down below for bluffing, guys. Take advantage on this. You can trade Fartcoin. Fartcoin might be the trade that that you make life-changing games. Could be the trade for life-changing games without a doubt. It's going to be relatively easy to detect that sweep of the low, and I would go with a 50k trade here. I would aim for 50k profit or so on this one, which could take a few weeks to develop eventually. But it's the moment, guys. It's the moment to really analyze a few of the altcoins and be ready to go in big. If you don't go big, then you won't make it big, right? So my opinion on XRP, I mean, we did have Solana here. Solana for me is, let's go on XRP, because I did have a few things on XRP. Yeah, as explained, XRP, we talked about this XRP correction a few weeks ago, and that we're likely going to take out this high. We took the high and formed a little bit of a swing failure pattern. The local structure looks bullish on XRP for the moment. looking at this movement down, I mean, there is a kind of a 5-wave move to the downside. There is a bit of a 5-waver. This wave 2 did almost take out the highs, which is disturbing for a wave 2. So you probably have a double zigzag where you have a zigzag down, a flat here, and another zigzag to the downside, which is looking pretty good for a 1-2-1-2. Double 1-2 possibility here is definitely there on XRP. You did get the correction the last few weeks. Correction did happen. We're getting a bit of bullish market structure here developing. So maybe this pullback could be the option for XRP. It would be interesting to see how we get down to the lows here, right? Sweep up the lows and reclaim those lows, guys. It's just going to be the option. Yeah, get down. You know, we're probably going to move down here. If you don't reclaim this level, golden pocket or this resistance support flip is your best option. I always prefer a first sign of strength, which is reclaiming the previous lows. I mean, it's always the best option. You know, instead of trying to sniper the golden pocket or the 7-8, or, you know, just sweep up the lows and reclaim it. And you know, that's the moment that you want to get into that small little pullback. So it does look like that it wants to sweep up the lows. So it's looking good. Okay, we do have a... We really need to analyze here this momentum. Sweep up the lows, reclaim it for the double 1-2 possibility. Because you do have this being very likely some kind of a correction. I mean, this movement up without taking, you know, almost taking out this high, I want to consider a double zigzag here. Zigzag, flat, and a zigzag down. And now double 1-2. I mean, this is the best option here. So sweep up the lows and reclaim it, or get down to the golden pocket, which is a resistance support flip. This could be the area where it bounces nicely on XRP. Okay, stay cautious with your trading. Much love to everybody. Thank you very much for joining today's live stream, and I will catch you all. Yes, XRP looks like a double 1-2, says 𝗬𝗍𝗍. XRP looks awesome. It is disturbing that we do have a little bit of a lower high right there. Big move down. You did not overlap this pivot. Wave 5 would be your longest wave. 3-wave and then down. Poof. You know, I'm just concerned about this because of the Bitcoin dominance getting a bounce. I'm worried about Bitcoin dominance getting a significant bounce, because we do have a very possible 5-wave structure here, and you know, relief rally is gonna bring those altcoins down. Okay, so a little bit concerned, but we need to go with the structure. The structure definitely has a chance for a double 1-2 here. It definitely has a chance, even though the second 1 and 2 is a little bit longer than the first 1 and 2. Oh. I would rather wait for the sweep of the low and, you know, a bit of bullish market structure, because I mean, this movement down does look corrective. This movement down here, oh yeah, this looks very corrective. Hang on a second, let's zoom in on the lower time frame and analyze this movement here, because I don't know why that's there. Yeah, you got a 3-wave move down here. Bang, bang, bang. It's a 3-wave down. So, yeah, there's a bit of an issue here for the bears to get successful continuation down, just because of the first move rejection that we had from this high a few days ago. So it looks very, very good for all of this to be some kind of a corrective structure. So, yeah, it's favoring the double 1-2 for the moment, because of this 3-wave move down. Massive rally overlapping this. You know, there's a 3-wave down, move up. It looks like a big complex sideways corrective structure. I mean, it does have the chance, let's say, it does have the chance to form a higher low right there. It is reacting here very nicely. Let me just double check on the higher time frame here. And let's pull out the fixed volume profile of this entire range. Ooh, my goodness. I mean, look at this. The highest volume node of this range of the last few weeks is sitting right there. Holy moly. I mean, sweeping up the low. And I mean, point of control, bang, bang. Oh, this would be absolutely golden. Yeah, a double 1-2 here is without a doubt an option. The movement down here looks insanely corrective. Just because you started the move down in a 3-wave structure and you got an epic bounce. The whole idea of this being corrective, we have the sign here, guys. This is the sign that this is extremely likely corrective, whatever this choppiness is. And what you're looking for is a higher low to develop at some point on XRP to then get the, you know, possible wave 3 up. Big support, point of control. It could sweep up the lows. You know, I would wait for a reclaim of that point of control, guys, and the local lows of today. That would be the confirmation, because you never know if it's going to break down successfully and maintain beneath the support, right? And then you're like longing and longing, and you're like, you know, it did not form a higher low, right? So sometimes it's the best option to wait for the sign of strength once you claim a low. I mean, could this form a higher low here? I mean, you can take the shot, guys. What else can we say? If it does form a higher low here, and we, you know, sometimes we wait for the low to be taken and it's not taken, and then the price holds on here because you do have that, you know, point of control of this consolidation of the last few days. From Sunday, basically, which is holding, right? You got the Sunday point of control right there that is maintaining support. 0.88 Fibonacci has not been hit yet, so you know it's all good. It's all good. It could actually hold here. It is finding support. I think the best option is, you know, you can get in with a small position, right? This movement up that we had does look quite impulsive. It does look quite impulsive. You got a nice little 5 waver here to the upside. I mean, there is that option. The best thing that you can do here is get into a small position. You will make those profits back, okay? You will make the stop loss back, guys. If you decide to enter here, you know, we're looking for that 3rd wave breakout. So it's not only targeting the highs, it's actually, you know, moving up to higher levels. We're looking for the momentum. I mean, you can afford a stop loss, guys, if you're going to re-enter again, right? We just don't know if it's going to break down here. But the most likely scenario is if you test the lows, you're likely going to get a reaction and you know, reclaim that point of control of this entire range of the last few weeks. And it's just giving you another long option with stop loss, good risk management at the lows, and then we get the breakout, right? I mean, in this breakout, eventually we would be looking for that wave 3. You know, we would be looking for a 1-2, 1-2, you know, get back here to the highs in the next couple of weeks. So you eventually, you know, if you're in long positions on XRP from last week, you want to maintain this long, right, from this higher low. Well, same scenario, right? This could be a higher low zone. And if you move up, it's just giving you another option for an entry here. So it is an option to either enter here, accept a stop loss if it does get hit. And if you reclaim the level after moving get the movement down, bullish market structure, your first wave 1 before you get your 3rd wave up, you know, you just re-enter again, and this one will pay off your stop loss and make profits. So it does look good. It looks corrective, all good. You know, the movement down looks corrective. We're moving up with bullish market structure. The double 1-2 looks good, just because the movement down does look very interesting as well for a correction, a double zigzag situation here. with a flat here in your X. So it looks pretty damn okay. Rejection from value area high and point of control. I mean, this is the zone that, you know, you want to hold that point of control or reclaim it if you lose it. That's the golden ticket right over there. Let's wrap it up, guys. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining the stream. Much love to everybody. Fartcoin is the sweetest of all coins on both sides. Much love to everyone. Thank you very much for joining, subscribing to the channel, smashing up the like button. Okay, if you want to join the Legends Pro community, Confirmation Trade says 𝗬𝗍𝘆𝗽𝗍. You do have the Legends Pro community and the Signals channel, which is down below, guys. 𝗬𝗍𝘆𝗽𝗍 today provided an awesome little scalp long position, okay? TP2 hit already. There we go. Leaving some open. Just confirming that message right now as we speak, okay? Just about 30 minutes ago, actually. And this is a long scalp that 𝗬𝗍𝘆𝗽𝗍 provided today in the Legends Pro community, guys. Thank you very much for joining, and I will see you in the next one.